Good day, everyone. My name is Collin, and I am representing this paper entitled A Preliminary Exploration of How Sarawak Indigenous Popular Music Contributes to the Development of Sarawakian Identity. On behalf of my co-researchers, co-writers, Professor Dr. Ting Suhi, Madam Esther John Perry, and Dr. Connie Lin Kehni. Okay. And we'd like to acknowledge the fact that this study was funded by the Pyramid Chair and supported by RIC, University of Malaysia Sarawak, with the study being approved by the Human Research Ethics by the same university. Now, before we proceed, I would also like to play this song for you all. Okay, this song is an example of Sarawak Indigenous popular music. The title is Biapa Kikis Bulu Betis, sung by a very famous singer from the Iban community, Mr. Anderson Ngalai. So let's have a listen. Okay, so that's a snippet of the song so that you can have a listen to what you really mean by Sarawak Indigenous popular music, the topic of our paper today. So I'll begin with an introduction, research aim and questions, a little bit on literature review, methodology, discussion and conclusion, and also references. And let's begin with the introduction. Okay, there is what you call by increasing number of people nowadays who are able to listen to music produced by indigenous peoples from around the world. Okay, because you have what you call by indigenous musicians who put out their songs, who put out their music, so that people know that they exist, and so that they know, so that people know their indigenous communities, their struggles and experiences. Okay, one particular example is the song My Motia. Okay, a very popular song. Okay, back in 2016 among New Zealanders, because this gospel-like song translates to cherish it, encourages all New Zealanders to speak the Ti Rio More regardless of their proficiency in the language. You can have a listen to the song by typing the title, okay, My Motia, and also have a listen so that you can know what the song is about. Okay, and there are also other examples of indigenous popular music around the world. Okay, one is from Lido Pimentia, okay, hailing from Colombia. Okay, and the song titled Nada, meaning nothing. Okay, where she blends traditional Colombian rhythms with contemporary electronic music. Okay, so the song here not only tells about her suffering as a woman, but as a woman from an indigenous community. Okay, you can also have a listen to a song by typing her name in YouTube. Okay. Um, Despite indigenous musicians like Lidu, who have articulated their perspectives on their musical styles and the indigenous popular music IPM movement, some questions still remain here. In what manner does IPM, okay, indigenous popular music, contribute to the formation of the individual sense of self? What types of identity are established, and precisely how does IPM engender them? Okay, it's not just about identity as a member of indigenous community or identity as a woman from the indigenous community, but maybe there are other forms of identities that can be established or created by indigenous popular music. Okay, this motivated us, meaning myself and my co-researchers, to find out more about the phenomenon by focusing on indigenous popular song of Sarawak, okay, which we call SIPM. Okay, the definition based on the people of Sarawak and how the people of Sarawak articulate their perception of ethnic and local regional identity. And in what ways does Sarawak indigenous popular music contribute to the formation of these identities? And what are their additional perspectives on SIPM? Okay, so a little bit of uh, reasoning or justification why Sarawak, okay, because of the various indigenous communities in Sarawak, okay, that make up the 2.7 million people, okay, residing, living in Sarawak, including people from the Iban and Mida community, the Melanau, Kenyah, and so on. Okay, also the fact that these indigenous communities, they are actively producing and putting out popular music apart from the more traditional form of indigenous music. Okay, and the popularity of their contemporary form of indigenous music extend to Brunei, Kalimantan, and also other parts of Indonesia. Now, a little bit of rich review. Okay, like I said earlier on, indigenous popular music is not something that people don't know. It has and continues to be produced by a lot of indigenous communities from various parts of the world: New Zealand, Australia, Canada, France, Taiwan, to name a few. Okay, and then we should also remember that this type of genre of music serve an important means for self-expression, identity formation, and important for minority survival, nationalism, and also majority-minority relations. Okay, Getty, among other scholars, have noted that popular music produced by indigenous communities help establish cultural identities and challenges. And recent studies have further shown this. Okay, for example, a study by Knudsen, okay, of the multi-ethnic minorities in Norway, a particular focus but was on Minoritet 1. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Where this particular group, okay, they combine a lot of musical styles, also languages, because this is one of the ways for them to create and also express their unique sense of identity of who they are, okay, being minorities in Norway. Okay, and then there are also other studies across the nation, across the world, where you have this what you call by study on language across three generations of women from the Hani minority in China. Okay, Jia and Yongsen examined the Hani popular music, particularly the work of Miss Yan, a famous Hani female artist, as you can see in the picture here. You can type her name Hani, okay, just type this Hani in brackets, Hani baby, and have a listen to it and to have a taste of what this particular indigenous popular music is about. Okay, and you can see through this music, it's not just about, okay, telling people about their community, but also about womanhood, about ethnicity, and also about modernity. Okay. Taiwan's contemporary indigenous music incorporates various musical genres, including Western rock, okay, according to Sai. And then there are so many examples. For example, Wan Shalang and Ara Kimbo, also known as the King of Indigenous Peoples and Father of Folk, and the popular music group Power Station, consisting of Yu Chiu Sin and also Yin Chi Lin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. That can be examples of contemporary indigenous music in Taiwan. Okay. Now, you can also have other examples, particularly in Malaysia, okay, where you have orang asli people in Malaysia, where their music can be categorized into two types: the traditional types and the contemporary type. Okay, for example, the Jahai perform the traditional pinloin, a song and dance genre during Pano ceremonies, tree, and also fertility rituals. But there are also other forms of what you mean by contemporary orang asli music that blends Western and local regional musical styles, such as Indonesian, Thailand. Okay, as you can see the examples here. And I've actually included one example, Aku Budak Kampung. I'm a village person, a boy, okay, child or kid, okay, you can say that. By typing this title and have a listen to the song of what you mean by contemporary orang asli music that blends Western and local regional musical styles. Okay, and Tan argues that okay, this by coming up with their own contemporary version of the contemporary indigenous popular song, okay, they can what you mean by regain the cultural symbols and assert the indigenous identity of who they are. Okay, because they can use this platform, for example, International Indigenous Peoples Day events, okay, to showcase who they are. Okay, up to this point, we can see that a lot of discussion, okay, in the literature has centered around defining indigenous music and IPM and their link to identity based on various indigenous peoples and their musicians. Okay, but we need to find out more about perspectives of both indigenous and non-indigenous fans and audiences on IPM. Okay, so we wanted to inquire because we want to see how there is a connection between their perception of the music and also their sense of identity. That's why we come up with this study. But before that, this particular study, okay, is an extension of another study conducted by Jerome, okay, that used survey questionnaire to study the opinions and views of individuals in Sarawak regarding Iban popular song, or Iban, yeah, popular song in relation to identity and unity. Okay, and then the findings revealed that a lot of the respondents were mostly from Sarawak, had a good understanding of Iban pop songs, held positive attitude towards them, and engaged with this genre in various ways. Okay, the results also show that Iban pop songs can foster a collective sense of belonging and a shared identity over time. Okay, however, that particular study mainly focused in Iban popular songs. And then that particular study also recommended that future researchers should also examine other popular songs by different ethnic minority or indigenous groups in Sarawak. For example, Bidayuh, and even Orang Ulu in West Malaysia, to reveal IPM's potential to promote identification, affiliation in multicultural, multilingual, and multiracial Malaysia. Okay. So to gather the opinions of the people in our study, the one that I'm presenting, okay, we utilize a survey method, okay, that is complemented or was complemented by the interview, okay. So we conducted this from July to October with 100 participants, okay, from various parts of Sarawak. And when it comes to the interview, we managed to gather 15 participants for them to talk more about the topic under study. Okay, and these people come from various sectors. They are music listeners, local music industry, musical fans, and enthusiasts. Okay, and then we adapted and also adopted some of the things from previous studies, for example, by Boyer, M. Saad, Tan Rikaj, and also Herrera and Associates. Okay, and then the survey is divided into various parts, okay, as you can see there. And also we collected the data that was analyzed using descriptive and inferential techniques. And we also use thematic analysis for our interview data. And these are some of the questions that we asked both in the survey and also in the interview. Okay, so let's proceed with the discussion of the findings. Okay, and I have organized this in 4 parts. Okay, based on the research questions that guided our study. So, 100 respondents in the survey. Okay, and the majority of them come are from the Iban community of Sarawak. And most respondents had a bachelor's degree, okay, and the majority of them resided in urban areas and with a monthly income less than 4,850. And the respondents, many of them were from Kuching, Betong, and also Samarahan and Sriaman. Okay, right. So when we ask them about their definition of SIPM, okay, 84% of them said that the song or this type of music portray the lifestyles and cultures of indigenous groups in Sarawak. And 56% of them say that the songs feature musical elements from various ethnic groups, okay? And then 53% of them say that the songs are performed in indigenous languages of Sarawak, okay? And then a majority of them agree that SIPM contributed to the sense of identity. Okay, this is because of the respondents coming from various ethnic groups from Sarawak, okay, the Iban, the Melayu, the Malay, Bidayuh, and Murut, okay. And then when they define the ethnic identities, they say a lot of factors involved, for example, language, culture, tradition, music, and dance, and costume. Okay, the Iban particularly, okay, seems to be most represented data, with many respondents mentioning their culture practices such as ngajat, costumes, and language and music as the marker of their identity. The Bidayuh were also mentioned, okay, but they said that SIPM achieve this, meaning help create the sense of ethnic identity, okay, through the rhythm and the beats of SIPM, okay, and other methods of singing and also dancing to the songs of SIPM, okay. And as you can see, examples that our respondents quoted are mostly from the songs popularized by the Iban singers, okay. For example, the song Aram Begawai transcends the Iban ethnic identity by depicting Gawai, an important festival for the Iban in Sarawak. Okay, now next. When questioned or asked about SIPM, whether SIPM contributed to the sense of Sarawak identity, a majority of our respondents agreed, okay? And the responses were grouped into different themes, including ethnicity, culture, language, food, and values. And these are the themes that they cited to be the ones that define their sense of being a Sarawakian or their Sarawak identity. Okay, and then when you ask them how exactly SIPM did this or does this, okay, so they cite that the lyrics of SIPM, okay, help them to identify themselves as Sarawakians, okay, and also mentioning other means by singing and dancing to the song. Okay, these are some of the notable songs. And to use one example, Sarawakians, most of them listen to Aram Begawai in particular, also highlights not only the Iban identity, but also Sarawakian sense of identity because of the Peteri of Gawai. Okay, a lot of Sarawakians identify with Gawai as one of the many festivals celebrated by the various indigenous groups, by the Bidayo and also the Iban communities that are also celebrated by a lot of people in Sarawak, regardless of their ethnic or indigenous communities. Okay, next. Some respondents shared additional perspective on SIPM and its relationship to identity in Sarawak. The following are the themes that emerged from the given data. Okay, so they said a lot of things about SIPM, ranging from the songs should include cultural elements, the song should be recognized and given awards, okay, to performers, and the songs, even the music industry, of local music industry, should have a little bit of promotion and support. And these songs from SIPM should also celebrate the identity of Sarawakians. Okay, these are some examples that are given us. Okay, so overall, you can see that the study found that 84% of the songs related to lifestyle and cultures of indigenous groups in Sarawak. 56% contain musical elements of Sarawak ethnic groups, and 53% were sung or delivered in Sarawak indigenous languages. This is what you mean by the definitions of SIPM. And when it comes to ethnic identity, Malaysia, particularly Sarawak, is complex and multifaceted, with different factors contributing to that particular identity. The respondents expressed pride in their cultural heritage and value the importance of preserving the tradition and customs for future generations. And thematic analysis shows that being a Sarawakian is a multifaceted identity. Okay, and we know this for sure because all this can be engendered by SIPM, Sarawak indigenous popular song, and how that particular genre helps it, okay, through the rhythm of the music, and also through respondents' various engagements with SIPM, that is through singing it and also dancing to the song, that are essential in forming the ethnic identity and also their Sarawakian identity. Okay, and then the findings are consistent with Getty's study, which suggests that popular music created by cultural and racial minorities aids in the formation of cultural identity and challenges racism. Okay, this we can see how SIPM generates diverse forms of identity, from personal, social to local, regional, while resisting hegemonic discourse such as Malaysian national identity. Okay, that is defined in terms of you're born in Malaysia and also speak the national language. But when it comes to SIPM, it generates or helps engender a lot of identities, local, social, and also local, regional, um, among Sarawakians. Our result also aligned with Lin's findings on Taiwan Indigenous popular music, okay, which enables indigenous musicians to express their identity. Now, in our study, okay, not just indigenous musicians express identity, but also listeners, okay, Sarawakians, indigenous and non-indigenous listeners. Okay, they are listeners of SIPM. They are able to also go through the processes of doing indigenous, being indigenous, and becoming indigenous through their various engagements with SIPM. It is also important to mention that our respondents' additional views regarding SIPM is also worth noting, as they may enable local authorities and music producers to produce popular music genres that help promote and preserve Sarawak cultural identities and also heritages. Okay. To conclude, in this study, the role of Sarawak Indigenous popular music (SIPM) in shaping the identity of Sarawakians at personal, social, local, and regional levels was investigated using a mixed method, online survey, and also face-to-face interviews, like I mentioned earlier on. And the findings reveals that SIPM is perceived as music sung or performed in Sarawak Indigenous languages, incorporating musical elements of ethnic groups in Sarawak, portraying Indigenous lifestyles and cultures, and representing identities of Indigenous groups in Sarawak. And SIPM, okay, played a significant role in creating the Sarawakian identity, symbolizing the state's diversity, distinctiveness, and harmony to its lyrics, rhythm, beat, and musical activities. The study suggests indigenous popular music has a broader impact on shaping people's identity beyond the indigenous consciousness. Okay, and further research could explore its potential in creating a sense of identity among diverse communities worldwide. Hopefully, we can do something like this. Of course, our study is not without limitations because we included a very small sample size, given it's a preliminary exploration, and we relied a lot on survey methods actually. Okay, interviews we use, but only complemented our research. So we hope that future researchers could address these limitations by having more people, increasing sample size, and utilizing additional research methods such as perhaps participant observation and also secondary data analysis of Sarawak Indian popular music or any IPM that can be used as a focus of future studies. So these are some of the references that we use. And thank you and have a great day. If you have any questions, you can contact me via or through that email address. Thank you so much. And let me stop this presentation for everyone. Thank you, everyone.